Hello from Scotland to the United States. This is Stateside Sports with me, James Scott. Every week, I will be breaking down the biggest stories from across American sports, from the intensity of the NFL to the drama of the NBA, the rise of the WNBA, and the traditional major sports like Major League Baseball, Formula One, analysis, reaction, predictions, and the stories that matter across the Atlantic, all through a Scottish lens. It's all happening in American sports. We're talking about it right here. This is Stateside Sports with James Scott. Some people may recognize me. I used to run Across the Pond Sports Network, where I did host a couple of podcasts there, and we covered all the sports from, well, really all the ones I just mentioned, and we did it very well. Across the Pond has kind of run its course, and it finished up. Well, I finished up in August 2 years ago, and now I am back with Stateside Sports, my very own podcast. Even has my name on it this time. It's not just Across the Pond. I will be covering some British sports. There are some big stories happening. In Scotland alone, you have Hearts, top of the league in Scotland. Unheard of. I think in the last 40 years, no other team has won the Scottish League other than Rangers and Celtic. Hearts are the first team that have made it to this point of the season and still to be challenging. Usually, start of the season, you have early challengers and they drop off. This year, very much different. Hearts are just bossing it. I mean, there's no other way to kind of describe what they've done. Even this week alone, in here in the UK, we've had some big wins for 16-year-old kid playing for Arsenal, scores his first goal, made his debut at 15. You'd think that would be that would be pretty big, and at a pinnacle of his career at that point. Nah, just goes out 16 and goes and scores a goal. Yeah, we're going to be covering all the sports. We are bringing back some people that you may recognize for the NFL. Katie, John are going to be back, which is going to be awesome. Like to have the original OGs from across the pond come back and do the NFL show. That'll be kicking off closer to the season. So at the moment, we're going to be one episode a week. Come the NFL season, we will jump into 2 episodes per week at that point. Then we have golf. Logan and Craig. The Logan is definitely the OG of the golf podcast that we had on Across the Pond. He's coming back with Craig, who did join him on that podcast as well. Craig out in San Diego. Sorry, Logan out in San Diego. Craig here in Scotland. We're going to have Ryan come back and talk NBA. I mean, the NBA season is almost at the playoffs. It's insane to think how much has happened in the last couple of years. The moves, Doncic going to the Lakers. I mean, that was huge in itself. Now we're talking expansion teams in Seattle and potentially Las Vegas. Let's be honest, Las Vegas is getting a team for every major sport at this point. They already have an NFL team, a WNBA team, an NHL team. They have some NASCAR tracks. And then you're going to add in the old Oakland A's. Now, anyone who knows me knows I was an Oakland A's fan when they were in Oakland. And I think on my old show, we got to interview the Oakland Ballers, who effectively took over baseball in Oakland, have that semi-pro team, which is amazing. And they've done so well. They've set the ground running. They had the first female pitcher play for them, which is pretty awesome. She's now playing in Mexico, I believe. But I mean, it's been phenomenal, the work that they've done in Oakland. So Oakland A's will be the Las Vegas A's, I guess. I'm not too keen on it. Like leave the team in Oakland. I never thought they should be ripped up away. Baseball season is coming fast and furious. There is no London series this year, however. That is slightly disappointing. I think between Fox and the stadium in London that they would usually use, which I think is West Ham Stadium, they couldn't reach a deal, which is really disappointing because we've seen like the NFL grow and the NBA grow here in Europe as well. But for baseball, they had done it, and we were getting a couple of games a year in London. It was a great step forward, introducing new fans to the game. Great day out. So I kind of feel like Major League Baseball is kind of fallen on its face a little bit with that one, and blaming the stadium, blaming Fox. Not really a great look for Major League Baseball. WNBA, where CBA's coming up. Will they, won't they go into a lockout off the back of another very phenomenal season in the WNBA? Aces, my team, were able to come out with the win. Great thing was I was in Vegas back in September with my oldest son Logan, and we got to take in game one of the playoffs, the first round. So that was phenomenal. What an atmosphere they can produce in that stadium. It is phenomenal. Myself and Logan also went up to the Salt Lake Bees baseball team. They're a AAA team, affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. Again, theirs is a brand new stadium. It was the inaugural season for that stadium. That stadium, I mean, 5,000 seater, everything is brand new, looks amazing. And what an atmosphere. We did go on September 11th. So obviously, there was a lot of patriotism on that day at the stadium, which was good to see. I really enjoyed that part of it. I've not been in the States in September 11th since 2001. I spent a summer there when I was 16, but that was long, long before September 11th happened. Formula One is about to start. The engines are going. They've got new rules, new regulations. There's a lot going on, and it's going to be interesting. We've already seen that one of the teams, Aston Martin, is having an issue with batteries and vibrations in the car. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. One thing I will say about this podcast, all the across the pond podcasts that I did, were all very family friendly. Nothing really changes here. It's going to be family friendly as well. Only difference being that I'm going to want to say some jokes and some stuff that, probably goes on the cusp. So you will notice on this podcast that there is an E next to it. So just for people to be aware, might be some jokes. So we're going to let some of the guests that we bring in, so that might be Ryan or Logan or Craig or whoever, let them a little bit more loose. We've got some great interviews coming up already planned. I'm really looking forward to this new chapter for myself covering American sports. Hopefully, I can get down to London, take in the London games. That would be phenomenal. Obviously, I did that before for the NFL. And yeah, really looking forward to it. So I really hope everyone gets to listen to a couple of episodes, gets stuck in. The first couple of episodes are going to be probably solo, just kind of as I get the feel of doing a podcast again, because it's been a year and a half since, probably just over a year and a half, probably more closer to 2 years, since I recorded a podcast. A little bit strange recording this as well, kind of announcing the new podcast. So really hope everyone can join us when we start, which should not be that far away. But, the other thing to think about right now is there's a lot going on in the world that can affect sports. We've got a World Cup coming up in the USA this year. We've got Olympics in 2 years in Los Angeles. It is going to be interesting to see how world events shape sports, because I don't think they ever have as much as possibly they could in the next couple of years. So that's something else. And again, kind of goes back to, having this a bit more of an adult themed kind of podcast so that we can talk about those topics as well. I don't usually like to mix politics with sports, but, you know, I feel like, there's going to be times that we have to. And we did do it in the old kind of days with Across the Pond. So, yeah, but this is stateside sports. It's all new, all go, all the time. And I am really looking forward to coming to you every single week. We've set up Instagram, we've set up TikTok, LinkedIn. So if you want to reach out to us as well, you can find us on social media. What a year to start a podcast, 2026. Let's go. Lots of sports all the time from both sides of the pond this time as well as we get to focus on the American sports, but nice to get into some of the UK stuff as well. One thing I will not be doing is forgetting about women's sports. I think one of our big draws last time was the way that we covered the NBA, the way that we covered the NWSL, and here in the UK, the WSL. So that is something that will still continue. We're going to have Stacia and Kirsten who are going to come in and cover the WNBA with me. Everyone knows, big Las Vegas Aces fan, Dallas Cowboys fan. I really don't have a baseball team right now because I can't get behind the A's and their ownership. So I might have to switch that up to the Dodgers. And that's not glory hunting, by the way. Absolutely not. I refute that straight away. That's not happening. The Dodgers, family connections to the Dodgers. So I am going to probably go with the Dodgers. Utah Jazz, obviously my my bread and butter growing up watching the Utah Jazz, John Stockton, Karl Malone. John Stockton probably was the reason I got into basketball in the first place as a kid and played for so many years through high school and then ended up going back and playing when I was 28 for about 5 or 6 years, won a couple of trophies as a bench ender. I was old. But what's been really cool actually about that whole experience about going back and playing at an older age and then coaching, because I then kind of went into coaching thereafter. What's been really cool is being able to see some of those players actually go out to the States, play professionally, and maybe not in the States, but here in Europe. And I think it's actually been really cool. I didn't coach most of those players because they were at the elite level here in the UK, but yeah, it's nice to. I did have the opportunity to play with a couple before they went out to the States, and before I hung up my boots for about the 20th time. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what they all do as well. But hopefully, we can get this thing a rolling. So join me at least once a week, if not twice, every week for Stateside Sports. Looking forward to it and looking forward to interacting with the world of sports again. So don't be a stranger. Get us on Instagram, get us on TikTok, LinkedIn, and listen every week. Start a conversation.